How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I know previously a lot of you are asking me to publish a video talking about the new company I'm working at, and now it finally comes. I try to delay this video as much as I can because I wish to provide you with more objective aspects of this company and my working experience. I don't want to just work here for 1 week and give you some general ideas. I don't want to do that. I want to give you some full insights as much as I can. Since I've been only working at this company for 3 months, therefore it might be not that objective. So based on my past experience working at ByteDance, when I worked for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, the feeling is totally different. Therefore, for this video, I will only provide you my 3-month working experience and insights when working at Grab. Okay, so now let's talk about my new company, Grab. Grab recently went public and is a leading platform in Southeast Asia for a lot of different aspects. For example, GrabTaxi, Grab Financial, Grab Food, etc. So it's more like Uber in United States and also Didi and Meituan in China. And in this video, I would like to compare my current employer Grab and also my previous employer ByteDance, and to give you some of the insights. Okay, let's get started. When we first look at these two companies' mission, for ByteDance is to inspire creativity and enrich life, while for Grab is to drive Southeast Asia forward by creating economic empowerment for everyone. When you see these two companies' missions, you can see there's a huge difference. For ByteDance, it's more like an overall mission because it has a lot of subsidiaries, TikTok, Total, and a lot of other products. Therefore, for its parent company, it will make this statement a bit more abstract, while for Grab, it's more specific. You can see its locations is in Southeast Asia. Its method is by creating economic empowerment, and for its subject, which is for everyone. And this comes to the first point I would like to talk about, which is the product difference between these two companies. For ByteDance, is basically to try as many products as they can. So currently, the world-class famous apps such as TikTok, Total, these are only the famous apps, the successful apps under ByteDance. However, ByteDance also tried a lot of other apps, and maybe they're not as famous as these two apps, but they tried maybe hundreds of products. While for Grab, because it's building a super app, it integrates multiple services into the one app, the Grab app, and therefore their methods, their services, their products are more specific. It's more like a centralized app, and this leads to the second point I would like to talk about, which is the engineering capabilities or engineering strength. For ByteDance, in order to support all different kind of methods, they need a centralized system, a centralized platform. For example, product A, B, and C, they wish to put an advertisement. It's really inefficient for each team to build their own advertisement system, right? Therefore, they have a centralized platform. You can do the promotion, you can do advertising, you can do A/B testing, you can have, for example, key value store, you can have a centralized database, you can have app or web monitoring system, logging system, etc. It's all centralized. And also the dev, staging, production environments are all there. You just need to deploy your services on that platform and then you can call it. However, on the Grab, because different services have more correlation with each other because they're centralized in one app, therefore they have to build their own services or system independently. So it's a little bit inefficient compared to ByteDance speed. And on the other hand, since Grab has been building the app, the code base 10 years ago when it first starts its company, therefore there might be a lot of legacy issue. Like 10 years ago, maybe some system or framework is not that mature, and over the past 10 years, since Grab is always working, and it will cause some legacy issue. So if you see nowadays, the Grab's some parts are not that mature and it will cost a lot of time. For example, since Grab is not using microservices, so sometimes when you push your code, some other teams have some error and you just cannot merge your code. This can sometimes wait to 2 to 3 hours and sometimes might get even 1 or 2 days delay. So this kind of efficiency is the part I believe can improve. While on the ByteDance side, it's totally different. 10 years ago, okay, even though the framework, the system is not mature, it's fine. It's like evolve time by time because they have different products, different platforms. They can just do this kind of improvement and upgrading over time. So at ByteDance, it just doesn't have this kind of situation. I have a very good analysis here. It's more like independent regiments. So, in the Second World War, there are actually some of these kind of regiments. The leaders for this regiment do not need to report to the generals and to get the orders, etc. Because in some very intensive area, sometimes when your enemies move, you have to move or respond accordingly very fast. You just don't have time to receive the response, the orders from your leaders, from your generals. And therefore, for ByteDance, it's more like this way. Different products does not have so many correlation between each other, but they have a very centralized platform and they can operate by themselves very quickly. For ByteDance, it's more like you try as many as you can, and if you try 100 times and even though you succeed 10%, you can still succeed 10 times. While for Grab, it's more like, okay, I find this way, I dig this out, I break this point, I tangle this market. Therefore, for Grab, it's more like you have your rifle, you have the bullet, you shoot the target. And that's the way how Grab is working. And next point I would like to talk about is culture. Culture is actually affected by a company's leader very much. When we see the leaders for both companies, for ByteDance, previously the founder and also the former CEO Zhang Yiming and also the current CEO, they're both engineers. While on Grab, the Anthony Tan and also Lin, they are both business background. They are not engineering background. So if you understand engineers, when you talk to engineers, they might be a bit shy, but they will think in a very deep way, especially in an engineering perspective. Therefore, you can see the ByteDance, they really focus on the engineering strength. Since in ByteDance the speed is very fast, there are always people urging you. It's similar like engineering culture. Well, when you have some difficulties or you have blocker from other teams, you will just push them. Okay, I want to do this, I want to do this. And this kind of culture somehow propagates to the PM. So they will try to, okay, have you done your work? This is the timeline, this is the deadline, and you have to finish your task by the end of that day, something like that. So when you're working at ByteDance, it's a bit tiring. And it's not that friendly working sometimes. And the fault tolerance is a bit lower. So you made a mistake, that is your fault. While on the Grab, it's more flexible. If you can't finish the task in this week, it's fine, just push to next week. And if you can't finish it next week, it's fine, push to the week after, etc. And also, people are not chasing you, This kind of feeling is very different. At Grab, sometimes other people were just asking, okay, how's the progress? But no one is pushing you, no one is chasing you, saying, hey, Nian, you have to get this done for me by the end of next week. No one says this to me at all. And I would say the culture at Grab is more chill. I don't know why some people are asking me or posting online that Grab is a very worst place to work at, but at least from my feelings so far, I think it's pretty good. At least on culture perspective, I think it makes me more comfortable at Grab than at ByteDance. That's my personal feeling. And of course, let me know any other questions you have. Feel free to leave the comments below. I'll try to respond as much as I can. And now it comes to the last topic I would like to talk about, which is a very common topic, a question that a lot of my juniors, my friends are asking me, which is, now, should I work at Grab or should I work at ByteDance? So my previous 3 points, I would say I've mentioned it very objective, okay? I didn't say which company is better. They have their pros and cons respectively. But now it's the time for the conclusion. For new grads, if you're looking to enhance your strength, your capabilities, especially on engineering perspectives, I would go to ByteDance, to be honest, because the speed is fast, you can learn as much as you can, and sometimes you work a bit late, you work a bit longer, it's fine, because you're a new grad. It's time for you to learn. It's not a time for you to enjoy your life. Well, after you're working 3, 4, 5, even 10 years, maybe Grab is a place for you to consider, because you can't just work like so intensively for 10 years. It's very hard. Of course, back in China, yes, a lot of people are doing that. If you see how Chinese students are studying in university, you can feel how they're working in the society. But in overseas, Singapore, United States, totally different. Therefore, if you want to have a bit chilling environment, and also if you're considering a more worthy timing rewarding, which means like in a unit amount of time you can make more money. In these two aspects, I would say Grab is a better place for you to work in the long term. But I also don't understand me wrongly. I'm not saying that at Grab you can't learn any engineering stuff. That's definitely not true. I'm just saying the speed is a bit slower and you may not learn as fast as you can compared to ByteDance. Okay, so I think these are very objective opinions and conclusions between these two companies. And feel free to let me know if you have any questions. I wish you all the best and hopefully to see you at Grab. Feel free to reach me out on LinkedIn and let me refer you. Okay? All the best.